Welcome to the 28-22 High School Top 10 Countdown, presented by Lehigh Valley Health Network, part of Jefferson Health, the region's only nationally ranked hospital for orthopedics by U.S. News & World Report.
Good evening and welcome into our very special presentation of 28-22 Sports Top 10 High School Football Showcase. I'm Zach Grady, and over the next 30 minutes, we will get you set for kickoff. Just a week away from right now, PIAA football ready to hit the gridiron on August 28th for week 1 action. And boy, nothing says football like that voiceover of our open. But before teams put the pads on, we will count down the 10 best from across the NEPA. And not just myself, though, bringing you all of the 570's best here tonight. 28-22 sports reporters Connor Coar and Ricky Turner both joining me here as well for the next half hour. Guys, what's going on?
Yeah, super excited to be here. I can't lie to you. As a Honesdale alum, I hated to see that touchdown that was thrown in Valley View earlier in the season, or last season, I should say, but still very excited to be here.
I'm very excited to be as well. A local kid growing up watching some NEPA football, a Lakeland grad as well, so some Lackawanna football conference rivalry there, but just excited to be here and reveal some of the best teams across NEPA.
Absolutely. We have the hometown advantage, the whole field advantage. Yes, the home field advantage. And all right, guys, let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into our countdown. And starting off our list this year at number 10, the Dallas Mountaineers. The Mountaineers finished 2025 with a 6-6 record after starting the season 1-5. Dallas graduated a dozen seniors from last year's team that made it all the way to the District 2 4A title game. Mountaineers falling in that game to North Pocono 38-6. Move to number 9 on our countdown. That takes us to Schuylkill Haven, the Hurricanes last season, finishing up 12-1. SH lost in the District 2A 11 championship game to Williams Valley. The Hurricanes also trying to replace the loss of Nico Castillo, the Schuylkill Haven halfback, now toting the rock for the University of Minnesota. And our number 8 team, the Scranton Prep Cavaliers, the defending District 2 Class 3A champs, captured its 5th straight title in 2025. The Cavs are also looking to replace a big chunk of their offensive production. Graduated quarterback Will McPartland. He helped guide Prep last season to a state quarterfinal appearance. All right, guys, let's break down the list so far. Connor, I know you got out to practice earlier last week with the Mountaineers for preseason practices. What can we expect from Dallas this season?
Yeah, for Dallas this year, I think the one thing you can't not talk about when you hear Dallas Mountaineers come across your name, come out of your mouth, is that they're going to run their football and run straight through you. Whether you want to see them coming or not, they're going to come right through you. They graduated, like you said, nearly a dozen seniors last year. A lot of those guys had production on their team, but when it comes to the fact that they are bringing back a lot of guys who had experience from last year, they bring back a sophomore quarterback, now a junior QB. He has a lot of experience. I was talking with him, touching base with him earlier this year. Talon Geske is his name, a name to look forward to not only this season, but also even going into senior year next year as well.
All right, Ricky, as mentioned, both Schuylkill Haven and Scranton Prep looking to replace key contributors to its offenses. How do they do so in 2026 and continue to be as effective offensively as they were last year?
Well, for Schuylkill Haven, it's a very simple question. It's the returning running back of a three-headed monster in that backfield. Max Reber, total 47 touchdowns, over 2,000 yards last year, and is really going to be a focal point of their offense. As for Scranton Prep, the answers are really less clear. They're running, from what Connor said going to practice, sort of a 2 QB system, trying to figure that out. They're trying out some running backs as well. But overall, Scranton Prep, I'm sure they're going to have to find their footing. They have some tough out-of-conference schedule in their first games. They return to conference play in week 5, so we'll see what happens from there.
All right, guys, that being said, out of our picks so far, 10 through 8, who most likely will find themselves atop the standings in their respective divisions at the end of the year? Ricky, I'll start with you.
I'm gonna go with the Scranton Prep Cavaliers. They always seem to find a way. They went 5-5 last year. Wasn't a great season, regular season, but they found a way to win the division. They turned it on once conference play came along, as they always often do.
All right, Connor, we got about a minute to go here. Who's your pick as our dark horse falling in from 10 to 8, who might be in the top 3?
Yeah, I wouldn't even say dark horse, but I have to agree with Ricky as well. Actually, I'm going to go with the Scranton Prep Cavaliers as well. We were talking about earlier as well how they had like the 2 quarterback set up there. They're losing a lot of production from now graduated quarterback Will McPartland. Just on the ground alone, 28 rushing touchdowns. That's a lot to make up for, but when you look at the guys who are coming back as well, I think there's a great opportunity for them to maybe even win a 6th district title. I won't be married to it yet.
Well, I know some of those guys coming back also share the last name of McPartland.
Yes.
There's a whole clan of them out in Scranton. So 1 quarter in the books so far this evening. Do not go anywhere, though. As we continue our countdown after the break, we head to District 2 for a pair of rivals who met in last season's title game. Plus, we take a trip to the talk of the town in District 11. Hey, welcome back tonight to our 28-22 Top 10 High School Countdown. Dallas, Schuylkill Haven, and Scranton Prep getting things going here as the Friday night lights are warming up. Connor Coar, Ricky Turner remaining with us as well as we get into our teams 7 through 4 now. Both our number 7 and number 6 teams played last season in the District 2 Class 2A title game. First up, last year's runners-up, the Dunmore Bucks. Dunmore wrapped up 2025 with an 8-4 record, but a loss to rival Lakeland 27-7 in the championship game. And speaking of Lakeland, the Chiefs find themselves in our number 6 slot. The District 2 Class 2A champions were 11-2 last season, winning the district title for the first time since 2022. The Chiefs losing a key player both on the offensive and defensive sides, though, from last season. Quarterback and DN Dylan Nanowitz, no longer a member of Lakeland after graduating last spring. And Blue Mountain, the talk of the division in District 11. The Eagles finished with a 7-5 record in 2025 and a district semifinal appearance. Blue Mountain with high hopes in 2026 as the team is bringing back its starting quarterback, Cohen Kirby. The junior signal caller put up over 1,600 passing yards as a 10th grader and 18 touchdowns. Number 4, we take a trip to Jersey Shore. An injury-ridden team last season still made it all the way to the District 4 4A title game. The Bulldogs were blanked though, losing 37-7 to Shamokin. High expectations on the Shore in 2026 as the team is bringing back its quarterback, its running back, and most of its offensive line. Okay, you guys have seen who we've ranked now 4 through 7. Connor, who got snubbed here and deserves to be in our top 3?
Top 3, I would have to go with the Jersey Shore Bulldogs. That was kind of a place that Ricky and I were kind of going back and forth on. I would say one of us had in our top 3, some of us in our top 5. But I think this team really does have a lot of potential coming back. In the first half of the district championship game against Shamokin, their quarterback had actually gotten injured, which is a big part of the reason why they ended up losing that game 37-0 last year against Shamokin. But I think that's a team that definitely can make some noise here in 2026.
All right, Ricky, I know you're a Lakeland grad. You had mentioned it. You think we got it right with the Chiefs 1 spot ahead of division rival Dunmore?
Yes, I'm a firm believer of if you beat the champs, you got to beat the champs. That is what it comes down to.
It's all right.
And that's why I have Lakeland above Dunmore, and I think we both came to a unanimous consensus there. But it's not only that. Lakeland returns Rocco Spatero at the quarterback position, almost their whole offensive line and all their skill position players, including Chase Rosenkrantz and Jackson Poches. This is not just, a bragging pick. This is a team that legit deserves to be in the top 6 teams in NEPA.
It's all right. We understand you are objective even though you are an alumni. All right, Connor, you mentioned Jersey Shore. What do they need to do to then close that gap on Shamokin and try to get that district championship that eluded them last year?
Yeah, I would never talk about that. I would never want to see a team or a player get injured, but I think that's the biggest thing. They can't avoid injuries. And we all know that's a part of the game, but I really do think if they can stay healthy throughout this entire year. I was at that game that they lost 37-0 to Shamokin last year as well. But I really do think that if they get all the pieces together, they stay in the game and not on the sidelines, that we could be talking a lot more about the Jersey Bulldogs come here, probably October, November time.
Yeah, absolutely. The best ability is always availability.
Yes,
that's the problem. You got to be out on the field to get it done. All right, real quick, Ricky, we got less than a minute here, though. Word from the Mountain is that the Eagles are the team to beat. Do you believe the hype that is Blue Mountain?
Well, I believe in the offense. You mentioned Cohen Kirby, the whole offensive line, sophomore Brady Foose, and senior Chase Guers on the outside. Defense is a work in progress, but man, this team didn't start off the best last season, but they got hot, and this offense is going to put up some points in some big-time bunches this year.
All right, awesome. 7 down, 3 to go. We get into our top 3 after the break, plus our honorable mentions. Don't go anywhere. We return with a trip to North Pocono and a stop also at a hopeful state champion. Thanks for staying with us tonight as we are headed into our top 3 teams here on the 28-22 high school countdown. But before we unveil our podium, let's take a quick look back at how we got here already. We kicked off our countdown with Dallas at number 10. The Schuylkill Haven Hurricanes came in at number 9. Scranton Prep slotted in at the 7 spot. The Dunmore Bucks come in at number 6, 1 spot behind their longtime rival, the Lakeland Chiefs. And then number 5, the Blue Mountain Eagles, the favorites this season in District 11. And at number 4 were the Jersey Shore Bulldogs. So, all right, let's get into the second half of the show now, starting with our number 3 team on the countdown, as mentioned, the North Pocono Trojans. North Pocono finished last season with the most wins in a season since 1991. The Trojans ended the year with a 13-1 record, a District 2 Class 4A championship as well. North Pocono made it all the way to the PIAA state quarterfinals, losing 28-6 to Cardinal O'Hara.
I think you'll see that these older kids have given us a template of what we can do, and then these younger kids now are using that template and creating their own identity. And in creating that own identity, I think now they're going to develop their own joy and who they're going to be.
All right, guys, this is the cream of the crop now. What does North Pocono need to do this season to live up to those expectations, Connor?
Yeah, I think that they need to do, like we were kind of mentioning it earlier, being on the field and being available is their biggest thing. They're bringing back probably 2 of the best players in the entire area, in Chase Zimmerman and Cole West. Ricky, I think you had a similar sentiment about that as well. But these 2 players, they've been. I stopped at their practice and they were telling me they've been best friends since 5th grade, and we all know what a good quarterback wide receiver connection can do throughout the entire season, especially, like we said, when they're on their field. They're seniors. Chase Zimmerman has been their starting quarterback since their sophomore year of high school, so he has plenty of experience. Cole West going to play Division I at Cornell next season. So they have a lot of opportunity. They have a lot of skill. And I was talking to Coach Dolan about this as well, that they did lose a lot on their offensive line, but when they trying to rebuild that offensive line, I think they're going to be doing it a lot quicker than many teams are expecting to, and I think that's a big plus for them heading into this season.
All right, that said, how far, Ricky, do you think that the Trojans can end up in 2026?
I think they can repeat as district champions. I don't think, I get it, the offensive line is a big issue, and there's a lot of youth there. They also lost Josiah Gray, a 1,000-yard back in the backfield as well. He's going to play at Lackawanna along with a couple of his teammates, but they've got 2 of the best players in the area. Connor said it. Chase Zimmerman, Cole West, both top-tier athletes, and they're going to be fun to watch all year. But, yeah, district title, I think, is still the goal for the Greg Dolan squad. And
I think that's an important note, too. They're not quarterbacks and wide receivers. They're athletes that are on the program. I think they're going to be using them in a lot of different spots than just the quarterback wide receiver positions.
Yeah, I know you had mentioned that some of them just called themselves athletes when we asked them what position they play. So, all right, move to our number 2 team now as we take a trip to Shamokin. Last year's 4A district champs are looking to go back-to-back and avenge its loss in the state quarterfinals. District 4 Class 4A champions in 2025. They shut out Jersey Shore 37-0, and they defeated Jersey Shore 43-42 in the first matchup, making it all the way to the state quarterfinal game against Southern Lehigh. Lost production, yes, but still have plenty of experience in the running back room, according to Coach Mark Persing.
It's 4 years in the making. The majority of them came up as freshmen, and we made a decision my first year to roll with those freshmen. I believe 5 or 6 of them may have started as freshmen. It's fun to see their growth over the course of the last 3 years.
Don't think there's too much of a surprise here at number 2. Shamokin, a perennial power each year in the PIAA. Ricky?
Yeah, Logan Steele, the big player there, 2,000 yards, 40-plus touchdowns this past year. And they just returned another power back in the backfield, returned some pieces up front. Just a really, really good team all around.
Connor?
Yeah, and I think there's a lot to be said about experience in high school football when you have these kids have been playing for 2, 3, maybe even 4 years playing high school football, that they have the opportunity to put it all together here in their senior year of high school.
All right, real quick, we're under a minute here, but both of you guys, do you think that Shamokin has a claim to our top spot? Do you think they should be at number 1 instead of number 2?
Well, if they can win that state title, they gave the state title last year, Southern Lehigh, all they could handle, who ended up going and winning that state title. But overall, yeah, Shamokin should have a claim if they can make another deep postseason run and possibly win a state title.
Not married to it, but I would say that there is a shot that they're number 1.
I think necessarily if they're not number 1, it's not because of Shamokin, it's because of the people who are sitting at number 1. 9 down, 1 to go. And the 4s are up here in the studio as we head to the 4th quarter and the top of our countdown after the break. 15 state titles, winner of 7 of the last 8. We head to the football factory when we return to meet our number 1 team of 2026. Hey, thanks for staying with us tonight as our 2026 Top 10 Countdown is just about to cross the goal line. But before we meet our top team, let's quickly take a look at 3 teams outside looking in and sitting as our honorable mentions. Crestwood, Mount Carmel, and Valley View all receiving votes this year and just sitting outside of the top 10. The Comets finished at 5-6 last season, but are returning double-digit starters from 2025. Crestwood expects to compete this season for the 4A title in the Wyoming Valley Conference. Mount Carmel always puts a tough team out there on the turf as well. The Red Tornadoes finishing up also with a 5-6 record last season. Mount Carmel returned running back Jalen Delaney, who had over 800 yards rushing and 400 yards receiving as a junior. And finally, Valley View, the Cougars, wrap up our honorable mentions. Valley View, a game over 500 last season at 6-5. Cougars, second-year starter Caleb Brown looks to turn the corner this year behind center for Valley View. All right, we've counted down from 10 to 1, but now I don't think anyone in the NEPA will be shocked here as we debut our top team in the PIAA. Once again, the defending state champs and the number 1 ranked team in Class 2A for the state of Pennsylvania as well, the Southern Columbia Tigers. The Tigers once again took home a state title in 2025 after defeating Farrell High 43-22. Southern Columbia went 15-1 on their way to the title, the only loss coming to Wyoming, a team the Tigers look to bite back at the start of this season as they open up with Wyoming. Southern Columbia with a difficult schedule in 2026. It's something that head coach Jim Roth says his Tigers need as they prepare for the real tests come playoff time.
Of success, that has a lot to do with it because, the current team will feed off that tradition, and that tradition has gone a long way in motivating one class after another.
This one was pretty unanimous here, guys. I believe all 4 of us, including our intern Nate Johns, had the Tigers as our top team. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I think it's pretty easy to say that Southern Columbia was going to be a team that if they weren't number 1, everyone would have been scratching their heads, even if it was somebody who didn't know a whole heck of a lot about football. Everyone throughout this entire region knows the success of Southern Columbia, and it was pretty obvious for me to put them at number 1.
Ricky, you got out there with practice. To me, as we saw as we had the interview with Coach Jim Roth as part of 28-22 Sports Night, when you got out there, what impressed you on the field first day of practice?
Well, they were in the gym most of the day because it was raining out, as you saw from some of the video. But just the size of some of these guys. They have a really, really, really big team. They return Aiden Hockenbrock at QB. Grady Garcia arguably had the best game of his career in the biggest game of his career in the district title game. And they also have a plethora of tight ends that return. They're going to be a run-heavy offense. Jim Roth said it best. He keeps it simple. He doesn't change much. They throw in a wrinkle every now and then, but it's basic stuff for them.
It's like T.C. Williams, ain't nothing but Novocaine. We run 6 plays and run it well, baby.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That being said, Tigers going to make a title 16 this year, Kyle.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly would not be surprised. The Southern Columbia team, every video they've seen, every interview that I've done, with them, they just continue to impress no matter year after year. These guys, they continue to show up and show out. It's super interesting, though, the guys from maybe 15 years ago when they first won that state championship game probably remember the same play calls that these 2026 Tigers
Not much has changed, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They're going to get it done this year?
I think so. I mean, you look at some of these teams in the top 10, they have some holes to fill. You look at the Southern Columbia Tigers, returning your QB, returning a really star running back. They lose Braden Andrews, who had 1,500 yards, but still, they have a workhorse in the backfield. They have some young players waiting to churn up, and then they also have a really good offensive and defensive line.
All right, real quick, before we get out of here, who are you most looking forward to? Just one team who you're most looking forward to this year.
Dunmore Bucks. I was there at 6 a.m. for a practice. So much fun.
How about for you, Ricky?
Give me the North Pocono. 2 possible D1 athletes, super athletic, and coming off a district title season.
All right, that is zeros on the clock for us, guys. For Connor Coar, Ricky Turner, and myself, we thank you for being a part of tonight's show. Make sure you are also tuning in every weeknight from 8 to 9 for Sports Night. Download it. Kickoff just a week away.